Oh, I liked that.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
We saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further. Second shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
It is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Well, this one's tracking. Do that. That wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge.
In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
And getting ready for the putt. Well, you just can't make up ground if you don't make putts. Drop shot here at the 14th hole.
Even par currently.
Drop shot and a dropped position on the leaderboard.
This game's never about being perfect. It's about being resilient.
Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Let me say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Safely aboard, about 25 feet from the hole. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Now the second shot to the par 5. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Frank, that looked good to me. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. 17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Just has the feel today. Frank, how does this 18th hole here at Royal Troon stack up against some of the other finishing holes in major championship golf?
Rich, it's a stout par 4, 464 yards, so it's sort of in the ilk of a Muirfield or Royal St. George's finishing hole. They've had some great 18th holes in Open Championships. This is actually called Craig End. It's the name of the old farm that was demolished at the turn of the century. So the 18th hole, it's certainly grown up and it's flourished to more than a farm.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
OB is just steps from the clubhouse. So that one settles about 18 feet away from the cup. Pretty good shot. To win the International Challenge. that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Thought he had it. Locked in on the read and the speed. That is a solid par putt. Just a great putt and a great win. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Schloter alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really, it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, the bad news is he missed his target by quite a bit. The good news, he's still on the green. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. That was not a very good read right there. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Now over to the 6th hole. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker.
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up. Should be safely on deck.
Well, he didn't knock down the flagstick right there, but 25 feet, that's not too bad. He has this attempt for par. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Putt drops, now at 1 over par. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Frank, this is the kind of hole you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one up there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and that wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
On the green in regulation. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
He'd settle for par here. Just a couple of feet. Still playing even for the day after the par. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him. When you consider the length of that putt, it's a good putt.
These putts keep the round together. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Solid play, heart of the green. Little redemption chance. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. Going to tap out on this hole for the week for another bogey on this hole. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Oh, I thought he had that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a little tap in here. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
21 feet from pay dirt. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time. Rich, you got to tell me what happened. I covered my eyes on that one.
Another bogey. What else? Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just played that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance he will. The front 9.
It is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
And he's made the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey. Now the start of the back 9 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, or as I like to call it, mind-blower golf club. Frank, everywhere you look, it's just a mind-blower. I mean, this one is hard to believe.
Well, this one's also a hard hole. 472 yards off the back tee. The fairway is a little wider than what it looks off the tee because that sort of desert ridge on the right side there, that blocks part of the fairway. So if you can imagine that fairway opens up a bit, then you'll be fine. A good tee shot down here, especially with that elevation there. That sort of shorten the hole up a little bit. 270 yards gets you past all those bunkers on the left side. They'll take those out of play. And once again, a little bit uphill, and you see the green, it shapes a little bit to the right. So make sure you're aware of where that flag is.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. This from about 10 feet. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Frank, too many missed shots and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational, and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Good work right there. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the seventh hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to two.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop, this now the third shot. Frank, this is one you practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. He's made it. Frank, the eighth here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of this green makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss this green, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
And it makes the green in regulation. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. just have a little flick in here, and chance too to have a little birdie at the end of your front nine.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. That was not a very good read right there. Bogey here yesterday. Chance to better that today.
How did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Something about this hole, it has not been kind. Bogey yesterday and staring at another one today. And he makes it for a bogey here. Don't forget the final round comes your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, so long for now. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Always some extra excitement when you get to the first major championship of the year, and here we are. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Partner, this is a big one.
It certainly is, Rich, and being the first major of the year, you know the players are going to be a little bit more nervous. Anticipations of a great year are going to start right here this week at Wolf Creek. And you're going to have to make all those adjustments out there. Is your game ready? Can you adjust for the changes in elevation? And do you have the confidence to go all the way and pick up the first major championship of the year? Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. No, that's not the way you want to start the back nine. Missed putt, bogey, and a drop shot. This for bogey once again. Made bogey here yesterday. Oh, I thought he had that. Yeah, that really hurts, Frank. Missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Early part of this second nine and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. From a par 3 to a par 5. Here at the 12th, it measures 560 yards. A sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Now the third shot at the par 5. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, at last, a birdie. Now to the... Fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that. If you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can make it. Should be safely on deck.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1. How does that not go in? You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Hole's 4 1/4 inches. Could have done with one slightly bigger.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. Yes. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels in that. But let's see, birdies that to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. These putts keep the round together. How you maintain momentum, make those putts for par.